Welcome everyone to Thrashcast. It's been quite a while since we got together to talk about thrash metal. Life has gotten in the way. It's got a little bit busy, so we're back here for episode 66. We are looking forward to talking about this great record that we've got tonight, and we're going to be talking about Testament's "Practice What You Preach" from 1989. And Jim has got it right there. Awesome, Jim. And as you'll see in the our quote captain's chair, we have Jim and myself. And joining us this week is Jason Deaville from Allfather Metal. Billy's away at the moment, so we asked Jason to come on in and talk some thrash with us, and he's always happy about this. And it's one of his favorite albums too, isn't that right, Jason?
It is.
Yes. Do that.
Jason's got great taste.
Yeah. I'm an old guy like you guys. So
yes, us old farts.
Yes, exactly.
Us old farts.
I think I was going to say, how old was I when this came out? It came out in 89, right?
I was 18, so I was in grade 12.
Yeah, I was 16, so just a couple
20.
years younger. So, oh, wow. Yep, you got us beat. But
I was 20 when this came out, so.
All within 4 years of each other. So,
yeah.
All relative.
How old were you, Ken?
Oh, I was born in 69, so okay. So I was 20 when this album came out.
Wow. You could drink in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. All right, so I know it's a whole month. My God, I can't believe it's been a month since we did our last podcast for the Ozzy tribute, which was a lot of fun. We enjoyed, fun in the sense that we got a chance to talk about Ozzy's career, but not the guy passed away. But
it was great to reminisce.
Yeah, exactly. Jim's got it there. Jim's got it right. We reminisced, so it was good. No complaints there at all. But tonight we have Testament, which is going to be a good talk. Before we do, just to remind people, since it's been like a month already, where you can find us. You can find us at the website, which is www.horrormetalsounds.com. You can find us on Spotify, right here on YouTube. You can just look up Thrashcast. We come up quick, easy. You can also find us on TikTok and Rumble. And by the way, the TikTok is working out well. We're getting a lot of good response there. We're posting videos. We're posting a lot of our old videos there, and they're getting a lot of response.
Cool.
So we're already at like 1,000 followers, and within a month.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's
really good.
Yeah, we're pretty happy.
I heard it's the place to be these days.
Where's the place to be?
I heard it's the place to be these days.
Who knows? Eventually, it could replace YouTube. You never know.
You never know.
It's possible.
I find TikTok's funny. TikTok for me is kind of like the flavor of the minute. But hey, it is what the people, especially the younger people, they have time for, is those little minute blips or a couple minute blips. I think it's great. My son, who's 22 years old, he told me when he's watched a few of our episodes, you guys got to get on to TikTok, so obviously I brought it to Ken, and
my wife also
really went for it. So
yeah. I know, Jim, you mentioned it, and my wife was bugging the crap because she's on TikTok all the time. And
I watch TikTok cat videos.
What's that?
I watch TikTok cat videos, like a cat driving a car or something like that.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
I haven't made the dive yet into that app. That's the one app.
My wife sends me videos of this one. You might get a kick out of it, Jason. It's a black metal musician who kind of lets the veneer drop with his family life. So he's just a regular dude at home with his wife and his kids, but he's a black metal musician. It's kind of funny. So sometimes he's all in black metal garb. the videos are really stupid, but I can see why some people find them really appealing.
Yeah.
Here's the life of a black metal musician. It's pretty funny.
The sides you never see.
That's right.
Exactly. The sides you
because we all have our lives. No matter how much corpse paint you wear, no matter how much blasphemy you spew, you still got to eat. You still got to sleep. You still got to shit, and you still got to love, and you still got to work.
Yeah, you can't escape that stuff.
No.
You can't, unfortunately. All right, so that's where we can find us anyway. So we're easy. We're around. People know where we're at. So we always start out we haven't did this in a while. I feel like we're getting on a bike and starting over from scratch. So we started with our usual news, our news topics, and if you got anything that you're listening to that we'd like to hear about, which is great. And Jim, yeah, I know it's been a month, so I know there's a ton of news.
Oh man,
Last few
I
weeks.
can't even think of any news because I don't know what is new news. You know, like the whole Cradle of Filth kind
Oh
of
man.
breakup and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I mean, you know, God, when we stopped doing this, I think those two people that were at the Coldplay concert were still making big news. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it would be the Cradle and
Yeah,
then Brent Hines from Mastodon
that's
passing,
right.
Yeah.
Mastodon,
unfortunately.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he passed.
Um,
Well, there's more than
and
that. There's also the Testament song drop for
yes,
the new
yep,
album, which we're all kind of like,
Yes,
chomping at the bit to hear the whole
it
album.
sounded fucking awesome,
and
Oh, fuck it.
Anthrax
actually.
apparently is on the cusp of
Yes.
releasing their first single.
Yes, that's coming out soon.
Yep.
Oh, and then Megadeth, of course, announcing that they're retiring.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's like, yeah, there's a lot going on. It was Rob Halford's birthday,
Yep.
just on the 25th. He turned 74. And I know, Jason, you and I were talking about this earlier, but Zetro's European tour got canceled. So
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
but rescheduling, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he says. As
Yeah.
I was saying to you earlier, apparently it's the promoter that pulled out. It had nothing to do with him. He said the promoter was kind of shady, or there was something going on with that promoter. So he's looking for a new promoter as we speak.
Right. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
and
And
he
just,
said that,
and just to ask you guys a quick question about the Megadeth retirement kind
Yeah.
of thing. What did you guys? I liked the AI produced kind of. I'm not a big fan of AI necessarily, but I liked. I mean, being a business manager, I have to work with it as well, and in retail and stuff. But the AI, I thought it was kind of cool how he did it with Vic Rattlehead in the news program. A lot of people gave it a lot of shit, but I thought it was better than just pasting up a Megadeth like a sheet saying, "Hey, fans, we're kind of done." I thought it was kind of cool. And what did you guys think of it?
I liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not a big
I
one.
thought it was cool.
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Is it the actual? Is that art the actual coming album cover?
Yes, the
I
white
think so. Yeah,
Vic
yeah.
Rattlehead. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
like one half is like heaven, the other half is like hell, or
Yeah.
that's how I
Yeah.
interpreted it when I saw it.
I have a hard time believing that he's retiring. Like,
Same with me.
I don't get it. Like, do you guys think there's something more to it? Like, if you looked at him lately,
He's
he
had
looks like
health
he's
issues.
aged. Yeah, like
Yeah.
crazy, and like there's something going on,
But like Megadeth tours so well. Like I gotta be honest, they're the only band that toured fully across Canada, like from Victoria, Kelowna, all the way to Halifax. And they did 30 dates or 25 dates in Canada doing it across Canada. So I got mad respect for and he's constantly touring and not just headlining shows either. I think he even opened for Disturbed in Britain or in
Right.
Europe. So I got to give them mad respect for the amount of touring they do. And like, in all fairness, this is going to be a 3-year tour. This is going to go on they're going to have the album come out next year. Then they're going to start touring, and he's going to do it in legs and legs and legs, like doable legs, I think. So it's going to be at least 4 years before, Megadeth.
The actual retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And by that point, he'll be close to pushing up daisies, maybe. Well, no,
Exactly.
he's not that old, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Well,
Close
I'm
to
actually
retirement.
surprised he's retiring before Metallica. That's a shocker to me.
Yeah, but Metallica technically retired many albums. Right after Justice, they retired. Sorry. The Black Album.
That's okay.
And I'm sorry.
No, I don't get offended at all by it, to be honest. Like, whatever.
I know.
It's all right. I mean, I like the Black Album, but whatever.
But check out what I'm listening, Ken. I got this one out for you.
Oh, Alice
Ooh.
Cooper, yes.
This
That's
is
a
it?
great album, dude.
This is in my top. Like I've got my top 15 already done.
Yeah.
I just have to do the jockeying for position. This is one heck of an album.
Oh,
Okay, let me
great.
ask you what era does it compare to?
Oh,
Early
70s.
70s. Early
Yeah?
70s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what I love about
Like
it
Welcome
is,
to My Nightmare type?
oh yeah,
No,
Yeah.
going earlier than that.
earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
okay.
like what? It's
The
like
Killers.
Killers. The first,
Yeah.
I would say it touches upon the first 3 albums.
Yeah. Like first Alice Cooper album. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
first 3.
Wow.
Oh, it's so good. It has everything from you've got like kind of slow, kind of sultry, that kind of dirty. It reminds me a lot, believe it or not, and your guys are going to laugh. And I've said this online and people have kind of ripped me apart, but it reminds me a little bit of the direction of Absolute Everywhere from Blood Incantation, in the sense that it's captured in a certain time, two totally different albums, two totally different genres of music, but has that 70s vibe. This has more of a bluesy kind of 70s, a little bit of proggy, old school prog, like the Blood Incantation album that had like full on 1970s kind of later prog in there. And I find that the two of them I'm listening to very similarly all the time, and it's really cool. I love this album, and I think they did a great job making it into that era, and it touches on every type of music from this. Like there's kind of Deep Purple vibes, full on Alice Cooper though. Like the first track, Black Mamba, which was I think the first single, is like a wicked song. But there's so many. The whole album is there's no skippable tracks on this whatsoever.
Wow. It's crazy that he's putting that that kind of material so many years later. Like it's still strong, you know.
And Ken, like it, you got it, Ken. Did you pick it up?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You kidding me? I got like the first one that came out. I had it. Like I own every Cooper album there is. I'm a huge fan. So like, there's not one Cooper album I don't own.
And then what else I got? Well, I haven't even opened it yet, but I've had it for a week. It's Insight's Savage New Times, which
that's a good album.
Did a review really for Thrashcast. This is wicked. I mean, you've got it's just so much of it sounds like Soulfly or Sepultura. I mean, and that just sells it for me. This is another top 15 album for me, maybe top 3 thrash albums for 2025, and that's without. I still got to fit probably Testament and Anthrax in there. And the last one I got yesterday was the Joe Stump, and I did Tower of Babel, Days of Thunder, and I did this for Allfather Metal review. And this is one of my favorite shredder guitarists of all time. The Alcatraz, he's in Alcatraz. Does so much stuff, and he's a professor at Berkeley. He does classes, music, like guitar classes at Berkeley. Really, really cool dude, and it's a killer album.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. That's what I got.
Good haul.
Yeah.
I've not heard it yet, but
it's got really cool. I love Deep Purple. I'm a huge Deep Purple fanatic, especially, I like all eras. I guess they call them certain stages. And I mean, when I was a kid, I think I was 13 or 12, I was hanging around a record store, and this hippie looking guy might have only been in his 20s, but I felt he was older. He told me to pick up Perfect Strangers. I was buying Motley Crue and all that stuff. And I bought it, and all my friends were ripping on me like, that's an old guy's
That's a good album,
what are you doing? And Perfect Strangers, which was the return of kind of the original Deep Purple, blew my mind. And so then I went back and started, like, obviously picked up Machine Head and did it kind of quietly, because all my friends were like, what are you buying that for? It's from the 70s, but it just blew me away. I love Deep Purple, and he's like a Richie Blackmore. He sounds very similar to Blackmore, and he's got such he's just a talented guitarist, and the whole thing sounds like Deep Purple to me. So
very cool. Speaking of Blackmore, he's actually apparently having some major health issues.
Yes.
I hear he's not doing all that well. His wife's been posting that he's under, I don't know what's going on, but apparently he's struggling, which kind of, so we may be losing him. You never know.
But he's pretty reclusive these days. Like he lives in, Aleister Crowley's house.
Yeah.
So he's pretty reclusive. I don't think he does very much public stuff anymore.
No, I don't think so. But that's interesting. Jason, did you have anything that you wanted to point out, or something that you liked recently?
Oh man, listening to so much stuff just every day, trying to manage the reviews for Allfather. So I don't get to dive into, I find that I wish I could do this more, but I find I'm just not ever focused on one album too much these days.
When you're running a site, I get that.
But I do miss that, you know what I mean? Like speaking, the love Jim has for some of these albums, I miss just being able to, just dive into an album for a week and slowly let it be the album that takes me over. So,
Well,
um, one band that I checked out today, that I found today from Finland that I really, really love is a band called I Cursed. I and then
okay.
comma cursed.
Not heard of
And
them.
they're like really old school, like death grind.
Okay.
Um, brand new band from Finland, but the sound is like I don't know, it's like putting on an old Napalm album from like the
Oh,
early
nice.
90s, like just
Nice.
really
Nice.
over compressed. And it's recorded so loud that you can hear some clipping, but it all just makes sense and it's just relentless. And really, really, really good. I'll send it to you guys' way, the first
Yeah,
single,
yeah,
but
please. I like to hear it.
yeah,
That sounds
I'm
cool.
really digging that. And then another band called Parasitic Realm, which is
Okay.
death metal, female fronted death metal band. And it was sent to me by a guy I work with. And he's an HR guy where I work, and he's a huge death metal fan. So this morning he sends me this band. He's like, "You heard these guys?" I'm like, "No." So I listen. I'm like, "Holy shit,
Yeah.
those vocals are fucking incredible." And he goes, "That's a woman." I'm like, I would have never, ever guessed in a million
Wow.
years. Like, she just has the most brutal guttural vocals I've ever heard. And again, it's very, very old school sounding. So I really dig it. So
Cool.
Cool.
yeah,
I just wrote them down. I'll be checking them out after we're
Of
off
course
the
you
cool.
air.
did, Jim. I know Jim would do that.
I'll order
And
the
of course,
CDs.
the New Testament song too, which
Yes.
been in quite a bit.
I love that song. I played it like, I don't know, like 8, 9, 10 times like a day. I played it since it came out.
Do you guys think it has a bit of a black metal feel to it in
Yes.
parts?
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's
And
not a
I wonder if
surprise.
that comes
It's Peterson,
from yeah, because of Dragon,
Dragon Force,
yeah, Dragon Lord,
or
yeah, or
Dragon
whatever.
Lords. Yes, Dragon
Yeah,
Lords.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a Dimmu Borgir ripoff at the time, but it was cool. And
I don't mind it. I have both those albums. I think they're not
yeah,
bad.
yeah, they're not bad, but
They're
very synth heavy, like Dimmu.
yeah,
Synth.
yeah,
But
but they're
see,
different.
they had
Yeah,
their black metal, their kind of stab at black metal I liked with Demonic. I thought in 1997, I know the
yeah,
world
yeah.
wasn't ready for Testament to go that way, and always on the ranking of Testament albums, it always brings up the back end, which is kind of sad because it is a really good album.
But
Muddy Waters, a wicked
we
track.
we
Yeah,
went back to Demonic. We took a listen to it on a trip recently, and it was funny to me that listening back to it now, people called it like their Death or Black or their
Mm.
Extreme album at the time. But I listened today, like recently, and it's very groove heavy.
oh yeah,
Like
Yeah, yeah, Solid the Groove. Yeah.
it's more groove, I think,
yep,
metal than
Mm.
maybe death metal. I think maybe it's the vocals because Chuck
yeah,
had never really done,
Full. Yeah.
that heavy of vocals ever before. So maybe that's how it got misconstrued as their Extreme album.
exactly.
Probably, but I don't think it's that extreme to me.
No,
Oh,
no, 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 no.
I
Not compared to stuff today, for sure. Not at
no,
all.
but I mean, I can see it being cutting edge at the time when it came out, though.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, Derek Ramirez who came in to play guitar on it, and he was a long time friend of the band. So I mean, like, different style, but
That's when Skolnick was out, right?
yeah,
yeah,
that's
Yeah.
when Skolik left to do his the Skolnick trio, the jazz trio that he did.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah,
He was doing that
yeah.
most of the time, and then he didn't come back until when they did Formation of Damnation. Yeah, Formation of Damnation.
Formation of Damnation. Yeah,
Did you ever hear Skolnick's hip hop band?
no,
No, I have not.
Oh my God.
Is
It
it
wasn't
bad?
from that. I think it was like maybe from 2016, 17.
Really?
And it's like full on hip hop.
Oh, I've
wow,
not.
But it's done, all the lyrical themes are total Trump derangement syndrome. I think that
Oh
man
wow.
it suffers from Trump derangement syndrome. You know how some people are just
Yeah,
so insane with it?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think yeah. So it was hip hop with that theme.
That's
but he was in
crazy.
Sabotage too, wasn't he? He
He
did
might be.
Handful of Rain, I think, didn't he?
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe
Sabotage?
so.
I don't remember that. But I'm sure you're right. I just don't remember it offhand.
Be a
Huh.
perfect fit.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I could see that. All right, so let's get into the questions that I came up for you guys.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, well, it's pretty simple. I thought we'd keep it simple,
Like an
but
exam.
what's that?
Like an exam.
You could look at it that way. So like the first question that I immediately thought of was about this album is specifically driven in terms of the changes in style. Obviously, it's much more progressive, it's much more jazzier, and the lyrical content is where the big change here is that we're not talking about like the supernatural demons and whatever. We're talking about now more
Environment.
yeah, environment, political, social issues. So I guess my question is when you guys first heard it, what was your reaction? Like what was going on in your world when this came out? We'll start with you, Jim.
Oh, I love it. I mean, it's not my favorite Testament album. I think I would rank it third or fourth. I'd go with the New Order, Ritual, probably The Gathering. Believe it or not, is like my third favorite. I love that album. But this, I mean, could be in the top. You know, it's the top 3 or 4 album for me in their catalog. I mean, 1989. This was more kind of turning into a bit more of a Black album for me before the Black album. So the musicianship was better on this than maybe the Ritual. I thought their magnum opus was the New Order. Other than maybe the ballad, which a bit of a weak track for me, especially the start of it. And I think it's a great album. It's very accessible. And I bought this actually on a class trip to Montreal. I bought it in the record store downtown there. I can't remember the one Billy talks about. And but no, I mean, I loved it when I was 18. I love it now. I think it's got the writing's a lot more mature. It's not just about supernatural or satanic and stuff like that. Which I'm always a fan of too. But it was a little bit more topical of the time, it's political and the environment. I thought it was a kick-ass album. I mean, I think some of the hidden tracks on here, and I will get into that when we talk about them, but like Envy Life, and there's a few other ones that I think, Perilous Nation, that I think are actually superb songs that are even better than some of the 3 singles that were released. I mean, Practice What You Preach, a wicked song, but that was a no-brainer. It's the title track. But I mean, obviously this was the album that got them into mainstream. The videos got played, and that's great, and I love it. I think it's better than the Black album. I'll say that because I think this stays true to form, to the thrash recipe, the blueprint, and I have mad respect for that. And Chuck Billy's voice on this is phenomenal.
It's funny, I've never heard anyone compare this album to the Black album.
I do, in the sense that it's the
never heard that.
I find there's always one in every band's catalog that kind of catapulted them into more success. I mean, this definitely did. That's why I say it's.
I think the Ritual
in the sense, like, in the sense that Countdown to Extinction, or what is it, would be Megadeth's sort of Black album, even though, the album before that was, as far as I'm concerned, their masterpiece, so.
I think the Ritual is much more closer to the Black album.
Yeah, in music, but that didn't sell nowhere near as much as this did, or do as good as this, when it came out. And that's the only reason why I'm saying it. I'm saying it more of along the lines of where they went a little bit more commercial in that sense. The ballad is on this.
Yeah, I like the ballad, actually.
Unforgiven. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Jason?
I see where Jim's coming from with this. For me, when I think back to that time, because me and my friends did buy this probably the day it came out, or the week it came out at least. For me, it spoke to the MTV generation in a way that hadn't been done with metal before. So it was right at that time when like MTV Headbangers Ball was starting to shift to more extreme stuff. And by more extreme, I mean Testament, Megadeth, Slayer, Anthrax. And it has a lot more polish than obviously the New Order. Both visually, if you look at that album cover, it's a gorgeous album cover. It's bright, it's big, it says, "Look at me." And I think the music does the same too, into a sense. The production's far better than the New Order. It sounds like, and I kind of use this analogy quite a bit for recordings that sound like this, but if you take a hot butter and a hot knife and a cold stick of butter, and it just feels good when you listen to it, like it's smooth. And yeah, so I see where you're coming from, Jim. Like compared to the New Order, this one is just bigger
Mm.
in all regards. Again, visually, lyrically, and musically. And I agree with you. It also has some hidden gems. It has the big hits.
Hmm.
Um, this is where a Testament fan could say, yes, they finally had some breakout hits. This would be the album that had those breakout hits
Yeah.
and the breakout videos that were played endlessly on MTV's Headbangers Ball. So yeah, I get where you're coming on with the Black Album. It predates Black Album by 2 years
Hmm.
almost,
Yeah.
but again, it's that same ethos. It's
Mhm.
it got them to the ritual.
Right.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough. I don't I guess for me, like I guess I'll set it up this way. Like this was a great summer for me when this album came out because
Mhm. Yeah.
I was a
What month did it come
huge
out?
80 it came out August,
Oh,
August
August. Yeah.
in 1989. But I'm a huge movie buff. So you have to understand that summer to me there was like I was going to watch Batman. I was watching
Oh
License to
yeah.
Kill came out that year, Lethal Weapon 2. And that was just leading up to this. And Stolen's Lockout came out. I saw all these in the theater. And it was leading up to August because when August came, you had Nightmare on Elm Street
Yeah.
5, The Dream Child, which I saw in the theater. And then you had Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. And then Testament. It came out right at that time for me. So it was like, oh my God. It was just, it was metal and music all at the same time. And I loved it because it blew me away when I first heard it. And for me, I think the one thing I'm going to say that I liked about it is that I'm listening to it going, God, the guy sounds like James Hetfield. And several
Ah,
songs, his vocal style is very, very close to James. And I don't know. I mean, I guess I had heard the first two original albums, kind of heard them, but I didn't really get into Testament until the third album. So when I heard it, it just blew my mind. And I was totally into it. And I guess I don't know. Maybe it was the soundtrack of the summer for me because all these great movies,
mhm.
great horror movies were coming out, and then this thrash album came out because it wasn't a. I guess it was a big year for thrash, but this I don't know nothing in the summer, with the exception of Alice Cooper's Poison, which also came out in the summer, which I bought as well. I equally bought that. I loved it, but this was the big kind of summer release for me for thrash. Anyways, I mean, I know
Yeah.
Exodus had an album that year and stuff, and well, we're going to talk about that in another question. But yeah, I just it was big for me. It was just one of those things where those moments where you don't. It just I was there. I mean, it was everything for me. I totally love this album. It blew me away.
Oh yeah.
Fun fact about the album is like it was actually recorded live in the studio, which
That's right.
I mean, it if you do listen to it now, it does have a bit of that a
Mhm.
rawness to it. Not in the
Hmm.
sense that it still sounds big, it still sounds bold, but there's an energy to it that was typically not found in, I think, in thrash recordings, I guess at that time, because everybody was, recording their parts individually and things were a bit more structured. But I think
Hmm.
Testament took the old school approach to recording this one.
Absolutely. Well, totally. I could see
And
that.
would you guys agree that it's the first album? Well, maybe the New Order did this, but where the jazzy kind of influences started coming
Oh,
into
this
play a
for
bit.
Yeah,
sure.
this one. Yeah. You could hear it here.
Yeah.
You didn't hear it on the first two, but you hear it here.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you can definitely hear the jazz parts, which is great because it just gives the album that extra bit of oomph that they didn't
Oh
have
yeah.
previously in the first two albums, at least in my opinion.
yeah, yeah.
And Chuck's voice on this, like Envy Life, when he does the Envy Life, it's just
Yeah,
it
he's
has
good.
that Hetfield kind of sound, but with Chuck Billy's. Oh, and I agree with you, Ken. I it was like Chuck. You could liken it to some Metallica, but
Yeah.
it's Chuck's voice, and it's just so cool.
Well, the difference is the growls, right? He had
Yeah.
those growls in, which was kind of a new thing because I don't recall the first two albums having maybe
No.
one or two grunts, but nothing like this. This was like, whoa, never heard this before.
Yeah, right.
And it was great because it was new. Like not even James ever added like growls of that nature in Metallica songs.
No.
So it
Yeah,
was like,
that's true.
whoa. So I when I heard it, it was whoa. You just got my attention. All right, so let's move on to the second question. And I mean, I know we're going to talk about the song, so we'll just keep this short. But the lyrics, of course, I think we've already kind of touched upon it. But I think lyrically, this is one of their strongest albums in my mind. And I say that because it's got three main songwriters all writing or contributing lyrics. So you have Chuck Billy, Skolnick, and Peterson all individually writing songs here, and all good songs. So I think it's top notch for that. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Go for it, Jason. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think well, Jimmy, you go first. I got to formulate my thoughts.
I think when you have more to add, more ideas, always makes things a little bit fresher. I mean, you know, and that's great. I think that's great. I think this is why this album was so accessible, because you had all kinds of different points of view and different writing together in one package, as opposed to just one or two or just one. Usually, usually in most bands, it's one person, maybe somebody assists a little bit, but for writing credits, it's generally somebody writes it and somebody's usually doing the music part of it. And that's generally it. And I think this just made it accessible because you've got all these different points of view that come in. I think a lot of the, and without getting into the songs, I mean, it's just such a topical album that I think somebody who's maybe more into politics out of the band probably tackled that, or maybe somebody was more of an environmentalist, or maybe a couple attacked that. And I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe the knowledge portion, putting it very basically, was just kind of divvied up that way. I think it's pretty neat. I mean, I'd love to know how many songs didn't make this album, and I'd like them to be released. So, but you know what I mean? Like, did they have 15 songs and they decided to go with just these ones? Was their parts? Did anything go on to the next album?
No, I don't even know. Good question.
Yeah, I think the New Order, kind of touched on some of these subjects, because the New Order in general was about, a new world order, where the previous album, as you mentioned earlier, Ken, was just demons and wizards, and I don't know if that's exactly what it was, but evil kind of fantasy type stuff. So this wasn't, I guess, too out of their realm. They just took it to the nth degree with Practice What You Preach, where I think almost every song has some sort of social, political message to it. And I honestly think, knowing Skolnick and how involved he is with politics and how strong some of his views are on politics, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know the writing credits as far as lyrics, but
I do.
Yeah. So was he involved?
Oh yeah. He wrote a lot of songs on this album.
Like over half, or at least helped with half. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. So.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget he was also the manager. He was managing the band at the time too.
Oh, was he?
Yes, he was the band's manager. So like he was very much responsible for their early sound. It's obvious to me. I mean, I'm not taking away from Peterson or Chuck or anyone else in the band, but obviously you could tell that this was technically kind of Skolnick's band to some degree. I would think, just based
I believe that, yeah.
How involved he was, and he's such a great guitarist. Like, there was nobody doing the kind of shit he was doing at the time.
It's true.
You know what I like though? I like how all three wrote Practice What You Preach. Then Skolnick wrote Peerless Nation, Peterson and Be Life, and Time Is Coming by Billy. So like you had it was so cool kind of how they laid it out too, because it's like okay, and then they went back to where it was the three of them again. So it was like this kind of bookend for the first 5 songs or 4 songs.
That's what I was saying. Why there's 3 really good main songwriters here. All 3 of them are great together and individually. That's why I consider this my favorite. This is hands down my favorite Testament album, period. For that reason, because I love the lyrics and I always identify it through the songs for me. And I know there's people who will say, well, the first 2 are classics, blah, 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 blah. Sure. They're classics, but I mean, I like it when bands evolve. A lot of people don't. I'm the kind of person, like, the music I like is always a band that kind of evolves a bit, the sound and the style. I like that because I'm an artist myself. So I know that over the years I've evolved as an artist. I've my tastes have changed. So when I see a band doing that, I can respect that. That's why I don't really get all bent out of shape about Metallica, because I get it. I understand where they're coming from. They don't want to keep writing the same fucking songs for 30 years, you know. It's people
Yeah,
change.
and I hate change.
And I set that up for you. I set that up
I
for
agree with you
because I knew you were going to say
and
that.
I like tweaking. I like tweaking.
Yeah.
I like it when, like, Creator's last album, Hate Uber Alice, I
Yeah,
loved it that they tweaked it a little bit. And look at how, I mean, they got Creator fans that loved it like me, and then Creator fans who didn't like it. They thought they went too far.
It was half and half on it. I liked some
Yeah,
of it,
see me,
but
I
it was
loved it.
all of
I was tweaking, and that's what I want. I bring back Metallica for Load. I wanted it tweaked. Anyways,
No, I get it. I kind of set you up for that one because I knew you'd say that. I know for a fact you'd say that. Anyways, let's just move on to the third question. So let's compare.
Let's call this one.
What's
We
that?
can call this Testament the Yellow Album or the
The
Orange
Yellow.
Album. I don't know. What's the dominant color on there? Is it yellow? I
Yellow,
can't tell.
yeah.
Yellow,
Sepia.
yeah,
The Sepia
yellow
album.
album, not the black album, the yellow album.
Burnt terracotta.
There you go.
Or burnt terracotta.
The burnt terracotta album.
Yeah, you could. All right, so let's compare this to other good segue, anyways, into other bands. So it was a good year to some degree. You had Exodus with Fabulous Disaster, Overkill, Years of Decay, Sepultura, Beneath the Remains, which everybody loves. Creator had Extreme Aggression. So how do you think this album stacks up with those albums that I mentioned? What do you think, Jason?
Well, I think this one sits atop of all of them
Okay.
for the simple fact that they're the big boys doing it. They were the kings of it. I mean, it's arguable, you know, were they on the same level as Exodus at the time? Who was the bigger band at the time? I think Testament definitely probably had more visibility.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably the album I listened to the most that year, even though I do love Fabulous Disaster, even though I do love Beneath Remains. There was just something about this album that got repeat spins for me, and stood out to me as the album of that year.
Yeah.
And again, it could all go back to that, the
Mhm.
whole package. It could just be all that, you know, like all those little things do make a difference, you know,
Yeah,
like
they do.
great artwork, bold, colorful, all those videos they did. I mean, Exodus were on the same level with the video production at the time. Testament really had some great videos. So that helped a lot too. So yeah, for me, it would probably be the thrash album of the year for me of '89.
Okay. What about you, Jim?
I think I liken this to, I agree with what Jason says. I think Overkill, The Years of Decay would have been on par with me kind of going with this, but this is much more accessible than that was. 18-year-old Jimmy would listen to, I bought Overkill, I bought this. I didn't have Sepultura until and Beneath the Remains, I think is a superb album. One of my favorite Sepultura, one of my favorite thrash albums, but I would have gotten more into Sepultura on Arise is when I kind of got into them and then went backwards.
See, but here's the thing though, is I never equated Sepultura with thrash. I always equated that early. I equated them with death metal.
Did you also?
So I don't know, like maybe it's kind of both, obviously. But I never put it in the same category back then, but I can see how you might do that today, you know.
But I mean, Alice in Hell from Annihilator.
Yeah.
So that trio of thrash albums, you've got Overkill, you've got that, and Alice in Hell. I wouldn't have known that. I loved it then, and I love it. It's one of my favorite thrash albums of all time. Annihilator's one of my favorite thrash bands, and I mean, you know, that album, but this was much more accessible. This was Testament already had two great albums, and I was already totally familiar. I bought my first album would have been the second one, and then I went back and got the Ritual. But you know, the New Order, and then obviously the Annihilator album, Alice in Hell, was their first album. So, and then they came out with their second, Never Neverland, which was another amazing album. So, but I liken it. Oh yeah, this is tops for thrash that year for sure. In my top 10 songs for the mixtape, I didn't put any of it on there because we're going to talk about it, and I wanted to do other picks.
I think I was just thinking about it, and I think it's why it stands out. It's kind of like the Gucci of thrash or the
Yes.
Tesla of thrash at the time.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
That's a good point. I don't know. For me, like I said, it's just it was the album of the year for me when it came out. I heard it when it came out in the summer. It blew me away. And I like you, Jason. It's probably the thrash album of the year for me.
I liken this to, if I was to pick a symphonic or a traditional metal, maybe I would go with Sabotage Gutter Ballet in the same year.
Yeah,
that was an album that defined my 1989, just like this did as well. Love that album. That album, set me on the trajectory for Sabotage for life. That was my favorite Sabotage album. It still is. And I mean, I love everything Sabotage has pretty much put out, but that just blows me away.
Cool.
I think also I was going to say that I forgot Years of Decay came out that year, and
that's a wicked
album. I loved it, and I probably listened to Testament more that year than that album, but I love both. But 30 years on, I think Years of Decay would probably eke it out.
And same with Beneath the Remains for me. Now 54-year-old Jimmy probably breaks out Beneath. I listen to more Sepultura than probably most thrash that I listen to. I listen to it almost weekly, something weekly from that band, especially the first 4 or 5 albums.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so question 4. I wanted to go back. I always like talking about art, so I threw this one in here. And I know Jimmy and I have already talked about this because we did another podcast on the same album, which we won't mention the name of, but I think it was Billy too, wasn't it, Jim? Me, you, and Billy were on that same podcast.
Yeah,
I know we were. I think Billy was on it too. But anyways, so we talked about then the art of the album itself. So William Benson is the artist on this one. William is very responsible for the look, and I know, Jason, you're mentioning the colorful feeling of the album. Yeah, Jimmy's got it right there. But William is really, really much responsible for a lot of the look of early Testament. Now, like, he designed the logo, and I think it's one of the greatest logos in thrash metal. Anthrax is probably my favorite, and Testament's my second favorite. I love them both. Yeah, and the Obituaries, that's a good one too, Jimmy. That's a good one too. But Jason's got it right behind him. That Testament logo is just it's fucking awesome. I love that logo. So he designed the logo. He didn't do the art of the first album. It was actually a photographer who did it, and because it was like sort of a photography collage. But he came in with the second album, of course, The New Order. He did that. He did Souls of Black. He did Practice What You Preach, of course, that we're talking about tonight. He did Low, and he did The Ritual.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a. Are they? Sorry, he didn't do Low. No, sorry. Ritual was his last album that he did. Low was Dave McKean.
Practice What You Preach. You probably know this, Ken. And Souls of Black. Is there any digital manipulation going on with that art? Because it looks like it.
No, there wasn't. You would at the time. No, it wouldn't have happened.
Okay.
It's an oil.
I know not to the same sense as AI is doing it, but for me, it just has. I don't know what it is about it. It's like it's just something about it that maybe it's a bit off-putting, but it doesn't look hand-painted to me. I don't know what it is. They're great album covers, but
it's an oil painting. I know that much.
Yeah.
So from my understanding, I don't believe there's any manipulation of it at all. I could be wrong, but I don't recall or know of anything that was like manipulated on it. As far as I know, it's an oil painting, and you can tell it's an oil painting just by the brushstrokes and the rich rich style of it. That's why I knew right off the bat, because it's an oil painting and it's great. So it's a lot different than what they did. Souls of Black is a lot darker and just more menacing. But Benson's a great artist. The one thing I will say just overall about Testament, they're good with picking artists. I mean, because they went from him to Dave McKean, and Dave McKean, who was one of the greatest comic book artists of all time in my mind. Worked on Sandman.
What did he do for them? Which
Oh,
ones?
Dave did Low. He did Demonic. He did The Gathering.
Okay. Oh, okay, cool.
He did all those stuff. And then they moved on to Eller and Cantor, who's more their current they're more modern artists. So they're really good at picking good artists for
Yeah.
covers.
He seems to be the artist of the hour right now.
Cantor, he's getting a lot of work. I like it. I like his stuff. Sometimes it gets very kind of fine arty, painterly at times, but it works.
Yeah.
And I think this band is one of the better thrash bands in my mind that were able to. They did understand their visual look. That's the one thing I'll say about Testament. They knew what they were going for, and it worked. I mean, their logo is fantastic, like the Anthrax logo. I just love it. You can't mistake it for anything.
It's got the symmetry to it is perfect. It's just really, really eye appealing.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. And so William will always be known for that. William these days, though, he has a website. You can check out his website. It's very fine art, painterly work. He does a lot of nature stuff and portraits.
Right.
It's okay. It's good work. I love the guy's work. He's a really exceptional artist, but it's hard to compare that he would do something like Practice What You Preach all those years ago.
Yeah.
But you like it, don't you, Jimmy? The cover?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool. It's it kind of hits that political and environmental thing for me. It's almost like the humans are all kind of cracked, and they're like on a Mars kind of situation where it's where's the environment going to if we don't look after it. And I think it's pretty topical, and I think it's really cool. It's one of the most recognizable logos. If you did like top 20 logos, this would probably be one of them. Just as recognizable as Anthrax, Megadeth, Metallica, Testament. It's wicked. And I mean, this album cover is amazing. I like the redo of the New Order with the skull being a little bit more. It's probably a little bit more AI now, but this album cover it's my favorite one. I like The Gathering too, but this one's wicked.
Yeah, it makes you think when you look at it. It makes you think.
Yeah, but that's what album covers should do, right? Sometimes they should.
Exactly.
I mean, the music that's being presented here is making you think. So why not have an album cover that makes you think as well?
Exactly.
And remember, this would have been sitting on a record shelf, and you had to walk in to decide whether you're going to pick this up or something else, and this makes you want to buy it. Oh, what's this? Even if you don't know who Testament is, you want to buy it. It's a cool that's what the artwork I love about being a kid from the 80s, where we went into record stores and we got to pick what we wanted without even knowing what it sounded like in most cases.
Yeah.
So true. That's so true. All right, so that's cool. Just some brief questions to talk about before we get into the album itself. I won't really do much of a bio because there's no reason to. We all know this band well. I'll just say that, and I know Jason already touched upon it, that they recorded this album live in the studio.
Yeah.
It was their first album. It was their breakthrough album, so because it made it to the Billboard charts 200. I peaked at number 77, and it was on the charts for like 12 weeks, which is pretty impressive.
Wicked.
Yeah.
And I know like they had some moderate success with some of the songs. Like this was a kind of a minor hit for them. It was played a lot on the radio. I mean, this band, despite the stylistic changes, and really they're not even like to the point where it's a total change, like say Celtic Frost. They still sound like Testament, just you broaden your horizons a little bit with the sound and the style, which I don't mind at all. For me personally, I think it works.
And a really cool story, because Jeff Waters brought this up when I saw his live podcast there last year. They were Alice and Hell. Annihilator was supposed to go on tour, I think for maybe Souls of Black or the end of this tour, and for Alice and Hell. And because the lead singer went back to work, he just left the band, went back to work as a longshoreman in Vancouver or whatever. They had to pull out of the tour with Testament, which kind of sucks.
Well, from my understanding, they did tour with Annihilator.
They did, and then they had to cut it short.
Right.
I think it was a European tour or something they were planning on. It was very successful. Yeah.
And Wrathchild America with
was the other opener. Yeah.
Right. And then they toured throughout the summer, and then of course they cut the tour short because they wanted
Yeah.
to go back in to record Souls of Black.
Exactly.
Which was a quick follow-up, man, was the next
Yeah.
year, right?
That was a quick
Yeah.
album, though. That was
Yeah.
that album's production is really bad. You know,
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah, it's
people
not-
rag on it.
Yeah, I was telling Jason that earlier. Like it's not my favorite. I like the album, but I
so
don't.
do I.
The production is not that great on it.
Yeah, they need to maybe remaster whatever they do to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a proper remix or something, or maybe even a re-record. You know,
I don't know about the re-record, Jimmy. I'm not too sure I like that idea. I don't like it when bands re-record albums. It doesn't work.
Well, Testament did that before with
I know.
which album? What was it again?
They did it with that. It's the first click is Deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did that. Well, I didn't mind that though because they brought in Zetro to sing on two of the songs, right?
Right.
So it kind of worked for that. I was okay with it for me personally, but to record an actual album, like if you do like that Flotsam and Jetsam Disaster album where they redid the second album, oh, awful, terrible.
Yeah.
What a bad mistake that was.
Yeah.
Awful.
We won't go there.
No. I'm just saying, like, I don't like the idea of bands re-recording. I don't think a band
needs to get cleaned up.
What's that,
That's
Jim?
all.
What's that?
It needs to get cleaned up.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I would agree. I don't know about re-recording it though.
I think because it was such a quick follow-up that the songs are very, apart from the recording, the songs are very similar to Practice What You Preach.
Yeah.
Like those two albums can kind of go together. That's why, for me, sometimes it's hard to pick my favorite album because I do love Souls of Black. But I think it's because it's so similar sonically. Well, not sonically, but musically as Practice What You Preach. Like Souls of Black could have been on this album. It just sounds like sounds like a Practice What You Preach.
That's a really good point. That's a super point. I don't know. I mean, I like that album too. I haven't listened to it in a while. I'll have to go back and kind of revisit it again because it's been a while since I've heard Souls of Black. But too bad it was such a quick that the turnaround was too quick and they got back into the studio. But
I think they did it so they could go on the Clash of the Titans tour with Megadeth and Slayer. So they kind of the record company said you need new material, and I think that's why they rushed it.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
That was a big tour at the time, so would make sense. I could see that. All right, so let's get into the album itself. So Practice What You Preach. Title track, Practice What You Preach. Jimmy, you always like to lead us off in these things. Go for it. What do you think?
Sure. Oh, I mean, this was the first single, I believe. So, I mean, what a way to start off. It's one hell of a wicked track. I mean, this is how you want to start off a landmark album with a landmark track. I mean, I love the little riffs and the mini solos that started off, and then just around 50 seconds, you hear Chuck's voice cut in, and of course it's Chuck Billy, and sounds so cool. This is really groovy for me. I think it's like a thrash masterpiece. It's not necessarily it's one of my favorite songs on the album, but just because it's such a cool song. And it's a pretty basic track when you think about it, in the sense that it's got a great chorus and it's just very kind of anthemic in that sense. But that's what you want a first track to be. You want to start off here and not down here. And I like starting off right away. And that massive solo that's in there with the guitars playing off each other, I think is just phenomenal. I like it. It's a great way to start off an album.
Cool. What about you, Jason?
I agree. I think this is probably Testament up to this point, probably their grooviest track for sure. Rather than just like a speed obsessed song, it definitely focuses more on the groove, a heavy groove, a really palm muted, like the palm muted main riff, really gives it that chunk that is so memorable. And the gang vocals at some point in the chorus are super fucking cool. And Skolnick's lead work. Melodically rich and just kind of beautiful. I think it's up to that point, it's probably some of his best lead work. So yeah, a really great start. Great song to start this album. Hard to top this one.
Growl here is what I like. That at 210 when he does that growl, that just really
Yes.
it just sets the tone for me of what you're going to get on this
Yeah.
album, I think, for in my mind. But the growl is really good. But I this is what Jim was mentioning earlier about everybody contributing. You had Billy,
Mhm.
Skolnick, and Peterson all on this song lyrically, and it's such a great song about practicing what you preach and say what you do and do what you say, kind of. I like it. So it's got a message. It doesn't really like hit you over the head, but but it's also elements of like, I mean, this at the time this was a big thing with the whole TV televangelist thing with Jim and Tammy Bay Faker, Baker and stuff like that. So I see a lot of why this song is what propels the song in my mind. But as a song, yeah, it's certainly it's jazzy. There's some jazzy groove
Mhm.
parts to it, but I just for me it was that growl. I don't know for whatever reason that 210 that growl. Wow, it just set the whole thing up for me in my
Yeah,
mind.
he's probably at his heaviest on this song.
Yeah, like you just get that
Then he
growl.
had
It's
it.
just like I'm here, I'm Chuck, and we're gonna do this
Yep,
because he
we're
never did
doing
Yeah.
that
it.
before in the first two albums. So this was kind of a new thing for people who
Yeah,
when you first heard it. At least I think. But
it was something different.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. And
I
then
think maybe this is why it could have appealed to death metal folk at the time, even or more extreme people,
I think
because
so. But
vocally it's quite extreme.
I think they were aware of it. I have a feeling they were kind of aware that what was going on at the time with death metal because it was sort of in America. It was at the start of the genre here, so I'm pretty sure they were aware.
Well,
They're
I think Peterson has always had his pulse
yeah,
on
Mhm.
extreme metal, right? So yeah, he was probably definitely aware of it.
yeah, I would think so. All right, so track number two, "Perilous Nation," which is a great song. Jason, why don't you lead us off on this one?
Yeah, another kind of groovy song with just some really driving, chugging riffs. Lots of double time kind of bursts happening throughout the song. Lots of starts and stops, which are cool. Gives it a kind of breaks the song up a bit. You don't know what's really coming next. Lyrically, another one that I think is to me it was about authoritarianism, maybe maybe some anxiety about censorship, or censorship was the hot topic at the time. So I kind of got that kind of vibe from it lyrically, but not my favorite song, but it was definitely a solid song in a set full of solid songs.
Yeah, Skolnick wrote this song, so he was
Mhm.
the main songwriter here. And you're right, the song is pretty much about censorship. It was all about the idea of freedom versus control, and how how government ideology is kind of stupid. They throw that all into the song, so I like it for that reason. I For me, I like the lyrics here. It's pretty strong. The one thing I was just going to say about though, what I found here is that Skolnick does a lot of like he mixes like like this fast alternate picking style with legato, and it reminds me definitely of Gary Moore because I'm a huge Gary Moore fan, and I just see there's a lot of good comparisons to the two guitarists. So because Gary Moore was really good for like being like he was super fast and heavy, but then he would slow it down and throw all these twists in here, and I kind of get that here with the song. So musically, it's really strong. And you get all those fast thrash chugs, and it's great. I totally love it, and I don't know. It's one of my favorite songs on the album.
Yeah,
Jim,
me
I
too.
remember at the time, I think it was Practice What You Preach,
yeah,
reading an interview in Metal Maniacs or a magazine at the time, and
Mhm.
I believe Skolnick came out at the time saying that he wasn't really a metal fan. And I
Yeah,
remember
Mhm.
my friends and I being like, what the fuck are you talking about? I like how can you play in this band and not be a metal fan? But I think that speaks to what you're saying, Jim, or Ken, that he adds a different flavor by maybe not having his pulse on metal all the time, which allowed the tracks like this, songs that he wrote, to kind of stand out and be a little different.
yeah. That's what I think. That's just what I pick up on my ears. But Jim, so we'll circle back to you. What's
Oh,
your thoughts on
I love this
the
song. I
song?
think this is one of my three favorites on the album.
Mhm.
And what I love about this is it's for me, it's a perfect thrash track. And I even like the vocals on, like, there's kind of a, I don't know if it's a backup effect type thing where they have that echoey thing going on midway through the song, but I kind of like it. It's not like the 90s effect that a lot of bands would use in grindcore.
That's right. Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
and I kind of like it, but I think it's got, I mean, it's an underrated track in my book, that massive solo. It's a huge bassy track. I love that. I mean, the bass leads in, and then it leads into a cool little kind of the riffs that happen right afterwards. I think the next song, and number 7 are my favorites. I'm giving it away, but I don't care. I think this is a massive, like, I mean, it's followed, like, the Practice What You Preach, which was a huge single for them, and this wouldn't have been a single because it was probably way too, I think it's about 6 minutes long, if I'm right. So but it's a little bit more technical in that sense. Yeah, almost 6 minutes, but it's still, I think it's a perfect thrash song for me on this album. I love it.
Cool. So we're gonna stick with you, Jim, for the next song. Number 3.
This is my favorite.
And you mentioned you love this song, Envy Life. So
I mean, Peterson wrote this, so it's got that heavy intro. It's a bit more of a darker vibe, but I love the chorus. And it's kind of a little bit, it's not like, Jason said it for the first track, I think, where it's not just all balls out fast. Like, it doesn't have to be thrash fast, face melting fast. This is a bit more slower but heavy. I really like it. I even wrote on it that this is the best song on the album, so I'm even lying. I think it's great, and it's got kind of that Hetfield vibe for the vocals.
Yep, that's exactly
how he ends off life, like life. He just kind of brings it up. And but I mean, it's Chuck Billy all the way, so he just puts such a good sound to the vocals. Yeah, this is my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, I can see why. It's really strong.
I can't believe this wasn't a single, but maybe it is. Maybe just, I guess I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm not a record guru, a record company guy. But I just felt this would have been super accessible because it's got such a catchy. But I mean, a lot of the songs on this album have catchy choruses, and that's really cool for a thrash band of this caliber.
Well, oddly enough, this is Peterson going back to kind of their roots. Mm-hmm. The whole point of the song is about, like, the supernatural and how people who dabble in the dark arts, it'll come back to bite them on the ass.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. And a part of the lyrics, like, talk about this idea that you envy the life of somebody else. So you use the dark arts to kind of, to get what they have. So I think it's kind of a cautionary tale for me with the song, but I like it for that reason. So I think when you're saying it's a dark song, it's definitely a dark song.
Yeah.
Sure. What do you think about the song, Jason?
Yeah, I think it's tied for my favorite song on the album.
Is it? Okay.
But yeah, when you guys are talking about darker, this album, as a musician, I can hear that it's written in the minor key, which gives it that really dark kind of vibe. But I think this song, out of all of them, probably has the most singable chorus.
You're right.
So I think that's what you were saying, Jim. It's just kind of accessible that way, that it just sticks in your head, and it's just very, very catchy. I also think, we haven't talked about either of these guys yet, but the rhythm section of Louis and Greg, man, they are fucking killer on this track. Like, this track just rumbles with both those guys. Both those guys, I love the classic lineup with Louis and Greg, and I missed that lineup because I think those guys were super, super talented, and they produced some great stuff, and they were just a really cohesive unit, those two guys, and it just shows on this song and as on the album as a whole. I don't think Greg and Louis get the love that they deserve.
No, they get overshadowed. I think they get overshadowed.
Yeah.
Like Skolnick, I mean,
did they have any writing credits at all?
No, not on this album.
No, not in this album. Yeah.
No.
Unfortunately, I think you're right, though. I think they're important to the band, especially the bass line. The bass line at the start of A Perilous Nation. That's so great. It's just like and it just, you get right into it. Yeah. Sort of like what Anthrax would do. I mean, with Anthrax, that bass was so integral to the sound, and it was tied in with the chugs. They don't do it as much here. They do it at times. But you're right. I think Greg is a little overshadowed at times, but he's a really good bassist.
He is. Yeah.
In my mind, I thought, and Louis, yeah, you even mentioning Louis. Louis is a great drummer. It's
Yeah. He's
unfortunate
awesome.
that he had the I guess the illness and the history of his mental health and had to bow out. It's just too bad. But he's a great drummer. He's
Yeah.
a really really good drummer. But they've always been good with getting a drummer. At least the last, you get Dave Lombardo, you get
Gene Hoglan.
Hoagland, and now Chris
Yeah.
Dovis, who apparently they're
Yeah.
saying is like the wonder kid of this album or the new album coming up. So yeah, so they're good at picking really good musicians to work with.
They are. Oh, and one thing I wanted to mention, I forgot
Yeah.
to, lyrically, it's interesting that you mentioned, Ken, that it's about, to some degree, envying what other people have, and, wanting to get that, or, so I think it's funny that you think of today with social media, and everybody's putting their shit up on social media and everything looks so great and wonderful. And other people are sitting back there maybe envying, oh, you're on this trip or you got this new car. And that kind of twists you up, gets you thinking and gets you, what the hell am I doing wrong in life? You know,
Yeah.
but it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Nobody shows the shit that they go through every day on the social media, like the bullshit. They only put the good stuff, right?
Right.
So to some degree, these guys were ahead of the time, thinking in that kind of mind frame.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep.
That's a really good point. I mean, I guess it's interesting that they use the idea of the supernatural, like to get. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of a cautionary tale. That's kind of how I looked at the song. Like, oh, you got to be careful if you want envy. You're envying what other people have, but use
Yeah,
your
careful what you
efforts to
wish
get
for
it.
type thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like it for that. I think it's a smart song in some ways in my mind because if you think about it, they wrote songs like this on the first two that were just maybe a bit more on the cheesier side, and then you get this where it's like, oh, okay, they throw a little bit of a social or like a conscious message into the song. So
hmm
it's actually a smarter song here, I think, as opposed
With
to
still a dark edge to it, which
right,
is
right,
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
exactly, right, yeah.
Yeah.
So they do show that they can go dark, but still, I guess, move forward with the songwriting. So that's would be my
Yeah,
view
for sure.
in the song.
Yeah.
So song number four, "Time Is Coming," one of the songs that I also really like. What do you think about the song, Jason?
Again, another big course here. I mean, this
Yes,
album is
yes,
full of the big courses. Somebody is a genius at writing courses
Yeah.
on this album. I don't know who wrote them, but
well, this is
wow,
Chuck
This
these
is
Billy's
things
Chuck.
song.
really. Yeah, okay.
Chuck wrote this.
Um, Again, it's got there's a bit of mix here of groove and typical thrash at the time. A lot of double time stuff going on and call and response shit vocally. The vocal rhythms are really cool. Um, I this is one track where I was reading lyrics. I couldn't really figure it out, but kind of an interpretive read of it was something about maybe there was corruption. The time is coming, something's happening. The sense that something's about big is about to happen. But what that is, there's no payoff. What that is lyrically, so it kind of just makes you think. What were they thinking at the time? What's coming? Our time is up, but what is it that's coming? Maybe you have more insight, but
Um, you're pretty close. From my understanding, the lyrics also kind of criticize the government figures. So they, in a weird way, they take a jab at the president at the time in the United States because it's about
who would have
disillusionment
been
and authority.
Bush
And
Senior?
Bush Senior.
yeah, Bush Senior. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So they kind of take a shot at him. But you're right. The song is somewhat vague, but I don't know. It's kind of okay. It's different. But I would say it's all about like frustration, rebellion. There's like disillusionment with the system, societal systems. I think so. It's like a more a broader stroke as opposed to like saying, "Oh, our president sucks" or that kind of thing.
right.
That kind of
Yeah,
thing. So I think the way you're interpreting is pretty much how I interpret the song.
cool.
But it's a good song. I think it's very ominous at times in the way that Chuck sings it for me.
Yeah.
What do you think? You find this song to your liking as well, or
Oh yeah, I think I mean, time is coming. I mean, you can't get better chorus like this. This is definitely another good sing-along song for sure, and I think that's great. I mean, it's got all the makings of a great thrash song plus that, so very similar to song number 3. I think it's cool. It's got a faster chug to it, and I like the fact that they always, generally most of the songs don't just start off with Chuck singing right away. Usually about 50 seconds to a minute, and you get some sort of momentum going. I really like that. And yeah, no, this song, you guys said it all. This song musically and vocally sounds great. I mean, I love the Chuck Billy wrote it, and I think now we've gone through, a song where they all 3 collabed on the first one, and each one is done one in tandem in order. So I think that's kind of cool. And then they all go back for the next song all together. So it's kind of neat. And I think we're 4 songs into this album, and it's that strong. There's no repetitiveness. They're all going in different directions, going in different. I find even though there's good anthemic kind of sing along portions to it, it's not all the same. So this one's doesn't have his sort of Hetfield kind of where he starts off low and then raises it. This is just more of a straightforward chorus. I like it a lot.
Well, there's a doomy tone here. I also interpreted that there's kind of a more doomy, darker tone, or at least
when he hits coming, it's kind of, he's dropping it lower.
Yeah. That's where it's like time is coming, and it's like, oh, okay. So he's sounding ominous for me, but which is nice. It's a different element to add to the song, at least. But yeah, it's a good song. So Jim, we're going to stick with you for track number 5, and that's "Blessed in Contempt." And as you mentioned, this is all 3 again, Billy, Chuck, Alex, and all 3 working together on the song. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I think the heavy drums that come into it, then leading into the guitar sort of intro, and then it totally breaks into a cool riff. I think that's really important. I think this is, for me, would be the drum track of the album. I really like that. It's a fast song. It's got great gang shouts in it. And it's just got a cool, the riff breaks into a cool chug. And again, another kind of underrated gem on the album. I think not one of my favorites, but still a killer, top half of the, mind you, most of the album's top half for me, just because this is a great album. There's not a bad track on it, but this is another cool one for sure.
Yeah, this is a bit controversial too, because lyrically, some people interpret it as this is about child abuse or systematic child abuse of growing up and then being involved in this. So I like it. I find it interesting because the title says "Blessed in Contempt." So my first thought was, is this when they say father, are they talking about your dad, or are they talking about a priest?
I think you're right. I think it's about abuse in religion.
That's how I interpret it. But I was reading online, people were saying, "Oh no, this is about child abuse," and I'm like, well, maybe, but I think there's a deeper meaning to the song.
Yeah.
This is what I interpreted out of it. But I mean, everyone takes something out of it a bit differently. But so Jason, go on. What do you think of it? What's your thoughts on the song?
I think Jimmy said it best. It's probably, for me, it's the most aggressive song on the album thus far. It's faster, it gallops like the rest of the album, but definitely a little bit more of a New Order vibe to this track, as far as the aggression. Again, like Jim said, not the best track on the album, but definitely suits the album.
Well,
it's a nice break.
The one thing here that I do like is the fact that you get that Chuck growl, which leads into which kind of propels into the solo. I like that he does that a lot here. So you get a really good growl, and then it goes right into an incredible solo. I think this song achieves that for me. I like it for that reason. It's probably the one part of the song that I really picked out. It's oh, okay, cool. He gets a growl, and then we go into that great solo, which is a pretty
it's definitely the most memorable part of the song for me.
Yeah,
I can hear it in my head right now, whereas I can't hear the rest of the song.
Fair enough. But I think the chorus is pretty good here too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I like the chorus. It's pretty solid. But as we're all saying now, all the choruses on most of these songs are really good. They're all very memorable. We won't forget them. So let's go to track number 6, the Greenhouse Effect. This is a song that Skolnick wrote, so he obviously has some kind of affinity towards environmental issues. What do you think of it, Jason?
I fucking love the main riff.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
It has that really percussive Exodus kind of stomp, Anthrax kind of stomp to it.
Mhm.
I don't know, I wish I could remember seeing them back then because I saw them both on Practice and Souls,
Mm.
and I'm sure the pit went crazy for this track. It just feels like a pit track, a mosh track. So it's kind of more up tempo, um, and just really, really percussive and moshy. And again, of course, we got to talk about the title itself, Greenhouse Effect. I think at the time, the big news was, oh, the Earth is a greenhouse. Oh my
That's
God, the
right.
greenhouse effect. And I think there was a big scare about that shit back then, and people were like, what the fuck? What's going to happen to us? So they really nailed, I think, the sentiment at the time, as far as one of the big climate issues, which was greenhouse gases and stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of an environmental warning to, I think, ozone depletion. I think as thrash metal heads listening to this song, we were like, oh my God, we're all going to die, but we're going to blame all the fucking glam guys going with the spray.
Yes.
They're the ones ruining the ozone layer. So, good thing glam was done at that point. Fuck those guys. So yeah, like just another doomsday kind of track that worked really well.
Well, it's funny because Alex, well, Skolnick, he more or less his main interest here was the rainforest in South America. That was his major concern.
Mhm.
So that's where the song sort of originates from. But yeah, overall, what you just interpreted as like the greenhouse effect, and it was a big topic at the time. So it's interesting how
Yeah.
they wove that into a song itself, which is a really solid banger. It's there's
Mhm.
no question in my mind. It's a really solid song. Jim, what's your contributions to the song?
Yeah, this is my favorite single, so I
Okay,
like it a little bit better than Practice, but I
okay.
love the line in it where it compares it to an environmental holocaust. I think that's pretty cool. So that's just says it right there. That's it's pretty cool. I mean, this is a heavy track, which you guys said 100% right. I love the gang shouts in this too. And no, this is a great track. One of my top four favorites, I guess. But my favorite single on the album, I think this is a great one. And yeah, I mean, I just love that. So the gang shouts make the song sound super heavy, like thick, and I like that. So it's pretty cool. No, it's got a good sound to it. I like it.
Do you think it's a bit moshy too in that regard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of a weird like greenhouse effect. For a mosh song for me would be like I don't know, caught in a mosh.
Yeah, yeah. Like lyrically, it maybe
Aggressive.
doesn't fit the
Yeah,
yeah.
Well,
but I think it's a great. I mean, in their last album they had what Into the Pit, so then
Yeah,
it's.
yeah.
But this definitely is a mosh song, and this would be a killer live track. I can't remember. I only seen Testament once. I saw them open for Slayer, and Suicide Silence was there. Um, they came on for Machine Head canceled, and they came instead of Machine Head, which was kind of cool. And I can't remember if they played this or not, but probably not because I think
no,
they wouldn't.
the one thing is they didn't play a lot of these songs for
Mm,
quite a long time, which is weird. I'm
yeah,
not too sure why they didn't, but yeah, it's
especially
really,
with like
You mean later
singles.
on, right?
Yeah,
Later
right.
on,
Yes, later
yeah,
on, yeah,
okay,
they sort of kind of ignored this album for quite a long time.
right.
yeah. But no,
Weird.
it's a great track. I love it. It's like I say, it's my favorite single that was released. So
What the one
I
thing?
still I would have released Envy Life as a single as well, but
Yeah,
you know,
one thing I like about you're mentioning the gang shouts.
yeah.
They use Willie Lang of Laz Rockets, who actually
Oh, okay.
was
On
one
this
of the
track?
sorry.
On this track
Yeah,
specifically?
yeah,
Oh,
on this track, yeah,
I
and
didn't
on
know
several
that.
tracks actually they use Willie and a couple other
huh,
musicians
Yeah, you're right.
were on gang doing the gang shouts, so it
that's
kind of adds
cool.
a little
Yeah,
bit to it. It just
Yeah, they've
yeah.
got like four people for backing vocals. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I know
That's
that
cool.
Willie is a good friend of Billy, Chuck Billy. Like they're really really good friends because they grew up together in the Bay Area. So and they've worked together on several other projects. But I like Laz Rocket, so that's why I was
Me
mentioning.
too. Yep.
Yep.
Cool band. All right, so let's move on to the next track, and that's number 7, which is "Sins of Omission." And Jim, we'll stick with you.
Oh yeah, this
Go
is
for it.
would be tied for my top 3 songs. Sins of Omission. It's got that cool kind of quiet intro leading into that massive riff. It's again really groovy vocals. I think this is another massive underrated songs, and I think I said it earlier, but I'm now going to change it. I think this is Chuck's best vocals on the album, in my opinion. I love his vocal. He shines on this song. Absolutely love it. I think it's a killer track and definitely an underrated gem on it. Probably this, Envy Life, and Perilous Nation are my 3 favorites, with Greenhouse Effect being like rounding out the top 4. So,
Well, you know
for
what's
sure.
funny? The opening part sounds a lot like Knight Rider, the TV series.
Yeah, that's where I heard it. Yeah,
That's the first thing I thought. Well, this sounds like Knight Rider, and then it goes into the song. It's very unusual for an opening of any song. I think, but it's just something I noticed. But what do you
love
think,
Knight
Jason?
Rider.
Who wrote this one?
This is
This-
all 3. Peter, Billy.
Yeah,
Was it? Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I love it too. I think it's probably the most mid-paced track on the album. The most, I don't know, it's just heavy as fuck. It just feels like it's pushing down on you, you know.
Yeah.
But it does have a really, kind of melancholy,
Yep.
melodic texture to it at the same time. So it's kind of pulling from both worlds. It's crushing and heavy and mid-paced, but still at the same time, it's got all these kind of cool flavors to it. And the chorus, heavy as fuck, and it just feels a little bit more, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think. But lyrically, I couldn't place this one either, other than there's some subtle things, but then at one point, I can't remember what the lyric is, but where it's like this is definitely about suicide or about
Yes, it's an
self-harm.
anti-suicide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I think you might be referring to the line where it's like, where he says, "False sense of pride satisfies. There's no reason for suicide."
Yes, yeah.
So it's
But
like
he does call out suicide, right?
Yeah. They do call it out. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a interesting song, I think.
And what the title? I've heard that term many times, but what does that refer to? Do you know?
Sins of
can't remember.
Omission. So it's
Yeah.
like, so it's like you're. I guess the best way to put it is like you're emitting. I know I've heard it in religious, I guess in a religious context. It's like you're admitting your sins. I know it has something to do with that. I'm not sure offhand, but something
Right.
of that nature.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting. What do you think, Jim?
Yeah.
Jim?
I think so. I think so. I think it's along the same lines. I'm just kind of reading it right now. A false sense of pride satisfies. There's no reason for suicide. Yeah, I would agree with that. Probably, definitely, the cries answers wonder why it's time to die.
Yeah.
Definitely has that meanings, I would say.
I also like his vocals here are really good because he's got 2 growls in this that just really kind of help build the song in my mind. And that first growl at 247, and that leads into the solo. And then he's got one at the start of it, I think the 140 mark, where those growls are just interesting how they're placed strategically in the song. I think I just like the way he utilizes them for it's not just I'm gonna growl.
No, it's like he utilizes them as accents to the most perfect parts of the songs.
Right. And it works.
Yeah.
It works because he's got this great, he's got Alex with this incredible soul that usually starts the song. So that's what it's one thing I've noticed. I picked
For
that up
sure.
right away for me. All right, so track number 8, the ballad. We'll start with you, Jason. What do you think of it?
Can we call this the first true, like, proper ballad and thrash? Probably not, because we have In My Darkest Hour
Mhm.
from
Yeah.
Megadeth. But I mean, this one to me borders on, and I mean, you guys can call me out here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the video that gives me this kind of impression. But does it border on hair metal, glam? I
I
don't know.
agree.
There's something about it that
I think
maybe
it's
not.
Sanitarium, Jason. I always
Oh yeah,
go with
Sanitarium, but Sanitarium is really dark. This
But
one to
Yeah.
me, I think the video ruined it for me. Like
Okay.
I think had I not had the visuals of the video where he's riding the motorbike and his hair is flowing and he walks into the bar and the girl's there and you know, I know there's more meaning to that. It's about heartbreak, obviously, and
Yeah.
you know, holding on to something that you've lost and you can't let go of it. And you know, it's a ballad in that sense. It's like a love lost type thing. But to me, it just for if I want if I want a ballad like song in my thrash, I want it to be dark as fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this one just I don't know. It sits with me wrong because I don't want to hear about lost love from Testament. It
Mhm.
just it seems a bit weird to me.
Yeah.
I mean the lyrically they could have taken the theme of the last song and applied it to this,
Yeah.
and it would have made more sense, I think, in a solemn sense to the music that's on display here. So yeah, the video ruined it for me. I'm kind of babbling now, but you know, it's a really cool track because obviously there's that huge buildup, right?
Mhm.
So you start off really slow, almost like one to that degree, where
For
like
Or
Sanitarium.
Fade to Black.
or Fade to Black or Sanitarium, yeah.
Yeah.
You
That's
start
how I
off
was.
slow
Yeah.
and then just boom, and then it ends in that just incredible vocal work by Chuck. Just you can really feel like I wonder if he lost love at some point because you can really feel the
Sure.
emotion in
You
his
do?
vocals in this track, and I think it comes across
Well, he
really
co-wrote
well.
it, so I mean, it's a good chance he did.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
yeah.
you know, lots of really cool arpeggios in this, and lots of double kick at the end, and um, I think Skolnick's work here is really emotive too. So it worked out well. Again, the topic, the theme doesn't cut
The
it for me.
video.
Yeah, or the video. I wish they had chosen something a bit more dark and ominous for this track. But yeah, a really great song musically. Otherwise,
I think Louis is the standout on this in the second half of the song.
oh
The tempo,
yeah.
like he carries the song. I feel for me in the second half, but you know, I don't mind it. But
Much the same way Lars carried one in
yeah.
the
Hmm.
second
There's
half. Like
comparisons. There's
yeah,
like I kind of see it as a bit of a drum track at times, but you know, what do you think, Jim?
Ah,
No, doesn't do it for you.
I agree with Jason. I think the second half of this, I think the buildup is, and I don't want to say I hate it because I love Testament and I love the fact Chuck Billy's start of it really took a good stab at it. And I think he did a tremendous job. I think a darker topic, like maybe what's going through my mind right now is they should have wrote a song about maybe Sharon Tate's murder or something to make it slow like this,
They
but
could have,
more
yeah.
of that sort of brutality. I know it's bad taste, I'm saying, but that sort of thing would have maybe made a little bit more sense, maybe in that. But and I commend him for maybe if it is a personal thing or whatever. I just the first part I found it's kind of a bit of a not a ripoff, but kind of a little bit of a copy of Fade to Black. Fade to Black is not a ballad. It's the first part of it kind of slow and then it just takes off. But the Fade to Black, the topic of suicide was just so, I mean, that slapped you right in the face. It made you grab a hold of you. And I think that's what this song's missing. And I agree with Jason. The video's kind of campy and a little bit
yeah.
cheesy. And I think that might have, and Jason said it best, when you want to go for lost love, I don't want to get that from Testament. You know, I'll get that from Neil Sedaka or somebody. I don't know.
Or Slaughter
Yeah,
or Warrant or you know.
yeah, like like we're not going to go. We don't want to listen about our feelings to Vader. So why the hell would we, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Obituary, chopped in half. Maybe it's a love song, but that's what this is missing for me. And I commend. Was a great single. It was. I mean, they played it on Headbangers Ball and
It was a minor hit.
Power Hour.
Yeah, it was a minor.
Played it like crazy because this was the female sort of shot to get more of a female audience, to get that sort of feeling.
And Chuck's hair was so pretty in it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And
we got to talk about just the overtness of the title itself.
Yeah.
Like
the ballad.
You just laid out the line right there.
Yeah.
Highly
original title.
At 3:22, when that song just picks up, I like it a bit better. But it just, again, it just, I agree with what you guys are saying. I don't want to diss it because there's nothing wrong with taking a chance like this. It's just, Lost Love. It would have been better if it was Lost Love due to, I don't know, a true crime story of some sort of murder.
There you go.
Very heinous murder.
Yes. And do we agree that this is like Chuck really shines the versatility on his vocals on this album?
Yeah.
Like who knew he had such a melodic edge to his vocals?
Exactly.
He's the standout. If you want to talk just about vocals, it's a standout performance for him.
Yeah.
And not to make light of it, but I think maybe a version of People Under the Stairs, that movie.
Oh, I love that movie.
That would have been cool to write The Ballad of Fool or something like that. I don't know.
I'm trying to have a mental picture in my mind about how that song could relate to the movie, but it could.
And then they could have used clips from the movie.
That's right.
And Chuck's hair still could have been beautiful.
Yeah.
And he's caught underneath the stairs.
He's chasing him through the walls with a shotgun.
Exactly. Yes. That's so great. It's funny. Oh boy. All right. So track number 9, Nightmare, Coming Back to You. Jim, we're going to stick with you. This is a Skolnick written song. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I think it's a good recalibration after the ballad. Right. I mean, it's just, we like the Pilot Light again, which is great. And it's I find it super fast, good thrashy song, a great solo, and kind of a great way to end off the album. I know there's one more song that's an instrumental, but this is a great for a song with vocals. I think this is a great way to end it before the instrumental. Maybe I would have thrown the instrumental on before, but I can see probably why they did it. And that was to probably space out maybe the ballad, even though the back half of the ballad is pretty heavy and pretty fast. Even with the name The Ballad, I think they probably didn't want to kind of have it go sleepy beforehand, even though the last song is very good as an instrumental. But no, I like it. I think it's a great track.
It's another relationship song, if you do realize that, because the whole point of the song is that he has dread to go back to a relationship that was toxic, and it's about betrayal, toxic relationship. So it's kind of funny how they kind of swing back to that, but this is a much darker take on it. So maybe it's just a bit better than what we got earlier. But
someone had a bad breakup months before Rain.
I would assume maybe he did. Yeah, it's a good What do you think of the song, Jason?
I think it's back to form after the ballad. Definitely Bay Area thrash at its best, and lots of what I really love about this song is, prior to black metal, this has a lot of really cool tremolo pick riffs similar to black metal.
I could see
I'm not going to say it's not black metal, but the stylization of the riffing. If you added a different tone to some of those riffs, they would be black metal songs, and maybe change the key a little bit. But lots of really cool.
What is that exactly? Would that be like a down picking,
just really tremolo picking is like really fast?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there's some of that in this, not a lot, but I can hear it here and there, and I'm like, oh, that perked my ears a bit. And this is on the cusp of black metal. So somebody had their pulse on more extreme stuff. I don't know if that was Alex or Eric.
I think it was Peterson. I think he would be the one.
Yeah.
I would think it was him.
Yeah, for sure. got some really cool changes in the song, and the solos are just blistering. There's no melody
Fuck
here.
yeah.
They're just kind of sharp and in your face.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a killer song.
Yeah.
It's a totally killer song. Yeah,
And I couldn't make out the lyrics at all on this one. I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about here. But yeah, now that you say it, I've just looked up the lyrics. I can see that,
yeah,
it's definitely the underlying theme here is for sure heartbreak of some sort or going back to something that wasn't good.
but they do it in a better way. It's not cheesy though. It's
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
very kind of they wrap it in this kind of dark bow that makes it a really good song for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but I mean, you get this song, and this technically should be the last track, and then we
True.
get that mess of confusion fusion, the instrumental, which
Well, this was a showboat for someone.
Yeah.
you
This
think
track.
so? You think so?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, take it away, Jim.
Not in a bad way, but you want me to go?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, I think it's up to this point the most prog jazz infused song that the band
Mhm.
had ever done, right?
Mhm.
And it really just kind of showcases Skolnick's talent. And he wrote the song, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he wrote the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Alone?
He's the only credit for it as far as
Okay. Yeah. So this was his drum solo moment for sure. And I mean, nothing wrong with it. I
Mhm.
agree with you, Ken. I think it should have ended at the previous song.
Yeah.
Um, but I think they knew they had an incredible talent, and I guess they just wanted to showcase that talent, and what better way to do it than give him a couple of minutes at the end of an album? So
well, he's the guy that's the mastermind behind it, I would think.
yeah,
I
yeah.
would think. But then also you have to understand, I think Greg Christian, his bass is great here. He gets
Oh, the bass is great on this.
yeah, he gets
Well, he's a bit of a jazzy player too. He can
Mhm.
keep up with Skolnick
yeah.
in that regard. Yeah.
I can see that. That's what the song kind of reminds me of Joe Satriani. That's
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
of course
Like
he was
Surfing with the
dead.
Alien.
Right off of
trained.
Surfing with the
Yeah.
Alien.
Yeah, that's exactly. But don't forget he was taught guitar by Satriani, so it kind of makes sense.
And this would have been around the same time as Surfing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Surfing came out in 88.
88, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
I absolutely love that album. That
Oh, that album's
my
incredible.
favorite albums.
Yeah.
When that came out, it was like, oh, Silver Surfer on the cover. It's like comic book.
Yeah.
Everything I liked about it blew me away. But anyways,
Yeah, it blew me away too. Yeah. And then he
Yeah.
started singing, and then it was just fuck.
Yeah.
yeah, the singing, yeah, the big bad moon, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan
Yeah.
of that either, but oh well.
That's why I'm glad Ingve never sang.
Yeah.
No.
Although
Hey,
I've
he
never
could
heard
be
of
a
him.
beautiful, he could have a beautiful falsetto, Jim. You don't know.
Could, yes.
Yeah.
I love Ingve. Ingve's great.
So do I.
Totally
Yeah.
love him. Seeing him live, loved him live. He's such a great
Oh,
player.
I'd love to see him live.
Oh, I've seen him live way back when, but he was great back in the 80s. Super great. So, Jim, you want to add anything to the song?
Yeah, I think it's good, talented players. And I mean, I would have jammed this in as the second track right behind Practice. Start off Practice, and then you go into this to kind of get it out of the way. I like instrumentals, and this one's a pretty good one. I would rate this one like an 8 out of 10 for me. The bass is very predominant, drums, and then obviously it's almost like a virtuoso kind of take off with the guitars, and that's great. I mean, I have no issues with it. I think it's just over 3 minutes long, so
yes, sure.
that's perfect. I still stand by Death Angels, The Ultra Violence is my favorite, and that's 10 minutes long, and it could have been 20 minutes long, and I would have loved that song as an instrumental. But this is it's still pretty good. But the last track's a little bit of a letdown. I would have ended it at 9, and still ended it at 10, made 9, 10, and throw this in somewhere else.
Hey, at least it's not a cover.
Yeah,
That's
true.
Yeah, a bad cover for a bad song.
Yeah, bad cover.
Yeah.
You're right.
Oh,
you're right.
no covers. That's true. Yeah.
Well, they never. This is the funny thing is they never played this song live until this year.
What?
That's right. Yeah.
This is the only song that they not played live.
Huh.
But this past April and May when they did they played this full album live for the first time on the Evening with Testament tour. They actually played this song, which is interesting because they never played it live.
Wow.
Cool.
So I thought, wow, that's interesting. That's the only song they didn't play live, but I could kind of see why they wouldn't. It's like you say, Jason. It's a showcase kind of song.
Yeah.
Why would you play it live?
Yeah.
There's just no reason to.
Chuck
Yeah,
has
we
to
know
go to
you're
the
good,
bathroom.
dude. Just
Yeah,
fuck off already.
yeah, we know.
But it makes sense to play it.
Yeah, if you're
they're
gonna
doing
play
an
the whole
evening
album,
of yeah. You have to play
I
this.
wish that tour came to Canada. I would have loved to have seen it, but
I know.
Oh yeah, man.
I think
Yeah.
it was a really short 2-month tour in the States only.
Yep.
Did you see the practice tour in Toronto? Because I think I saw it at the concert hall.
I saw the concert.
Or yeah.
The
I
concert.
don't remember with who. Do you remember who was on that one?
Oh no, I can't remember. It's such a long time.
Yeah.
I have to look it up.
Yeah.
I don't even remember now. But I did see the tour. I was there.
Yeah.
Had a good time. It was a good show. It was a really good show. But I don't know. Sometimes I've seen so many shows now. They sort of just kind of, I don't know. They all go, they mold together now to the point where I can't even remember what I've seen.
Well, especially when you're going 3 decades back, it's a long time ago, man.
It's the only one. It's like the only one, like the only really one that I have strong memories for, and that would be not Master of Puppets was good too, but I'm saying when I saw Justice, that was the one.
That's the one that stands out to me too.
Totally,
that was
not forget that night. It's just one of those.
It was. I have never heard a crowd be as loud as they were that night, like ever. And of all the concerts I've seen, it was like pandemonium. People were just losing their fucking minds.
Yeah,
it was.
Did you see it at the Gardens as well in Toronto? Where did you see it?
I saw it at Cops Coliseum in Hamilton.
Cops, okay, in Hamilton. Okay, yeah. I saw the Toronto show. It was incredible. All I know is I was 6 rows back on the floor. I couldn't fucking hear a thing. I literally could not hear a thing because Queensryche,
because of the crowd.
No, just the music. Like Queensryche were incredibly. They were so fucking loud. That snare drum, holy shit! Like they were great live, and you had Metallica. Like it was just one of those nights where you go home. It's like, next day I couldn't hear for a day, like a couple.
Wow.
Days.
Yeah. The days when your hearing would get impacted by music doesn't happen to me anymore.
Me and my buddies, we were like, we were just sitting around at my place. It was like we were in heaven. It's like we just saw the greatest show in our lives.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Justice as the top show of my life. I think.
Me too. I would do the same. I just it's one of those shows that you're never going to forget. You know?
No. Yeah. And I've seen Testament so many times, and
so have I. I've seen it many, many times.
And like, they're great all the time, but there's never been one standout show from them, like in the same way. I think they're just so solid and just so.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know if I have one show in mind that I would say was the one I totally remember.
Yeah.
I've only seen them once open for. So they opened for. Would have been, I think, World Painted Blood tour for Slayer, and it was them. It was supposed to be Machine Head, Suicide Silence, Machine Head, and Metallica, Slayer, and then it was Machine Head pulled out, but they brought Testament instead. So it was Suicide Silence was really cool.
I thought you saw the Megadeth Slayer Testament tour. Did you not see?
Oh yes, I've seen them twice. That's right. Yeah,
I know you mentioned it before. That's right.
The 30th anniversary of that's right, of Seasons, and
they played Seasons.
Yeah. I've seen them twice. Then
that was a good show too, man. That was an amazing show.
We saw them
What's that?
We saw them this past winter in Detroit, and I remember I think they played with Creator.
Yeah.
Correctly.
Mm-hmm. That was a show I got sick and had to miss it.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, you were so sick. But I remember the cool thing was that one of the tracks they brought everybody up on stage. So if you wanted to go on stage, there was probably like 50 people on stage during the song. And they just had a blast. It was just, I've never seen them do that before. So it was really cool.
Billy,
and then right at the end of the song, people weren't leaving. And Chuck's like, get the fuck off the stage. Time to go.
Time to go. Yeah, Billy had a good time. I hated missing that show. I bought my ticket. I couldn't even sell the fucking ticket, and I ended up losing. I was like, oh, what a mess that was.
That's bad, man.
But
you survived, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's the good thing. I survived, but it's just I kicked myself because I could have been backstage with Billy because that was the night that he got the
Bought the
bought the
guitar.
guitar and he was backstage.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would have been his guest backstage. It would have been great. I would have loved that. But oh well.
Do we know if this is his favorite album? Does anyone know?
Yeah,
No, it's the New
No.
Order, I think.
Is it?
This one's
Okay.
a close second for Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He loves this album too.
Okay, cool.
I
think,
go with the New Order, the Ritual, the Gathering, then this. But I mean, the Gathering, it just depends.
When did the Ritual came after Souls?
92.
No, the Ritual. Sorry, not the Ritual. The Legacy. Sorry.
Oh, the Legacy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Was there an album called Ritual though?
Yeah, the Ritual. Yeah, 92.
Came after Souls.
Yeah. Right
yeah.
after Souls.
Okay. I don't like that album.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah, I don't.
I like it.
I don't know.
The only thing about that album, though, Jason, is that's the first album that James Murphy was on.
Oh,
he's on that album.
I wonder if he has writing credits.
I'd have to look it up. I don't remember offhand, but he's on the album.
I'm sure you'll get to that one day.
Oh yeah,
we'll save it for then. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like the third time we've talked about Testament. So I mean,
is it? Yeah.
Yeah, we did the Gathering.
The third album.
Yeah, we did the Gathering, and then I did the Gathering, and then Jim did New Order.
Oh yes, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
This is the third time we've talked about them. But this is the album I always wanted to talk about because it's the one that I kind of identify with the most.
The Terracotta album.
Burnt
terracotta.
The Terracotta, the yellow album. Oh, that's funny. All right, cool. That was a good talk. Obviously, we all like the album. It's pretty clear. We all dig it for different reasons, but it's cool.
Yep.
And we always, our last segment, we like to do something that's kind of fun. We've been on this kick about the whole mixtape thing. We've been doing that for quite a while. And I know we didn't do one for 89, did we, Jim? I think this is the first time, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I thought it was a good idea. 1989 mixtape. What songs from 89 would you have on a mixtape? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
I didn't even research this one. God damn it.
That's okay.
I'll go first.
Go for it, Jim.
So I did 10 songs, but I didn't do I did them in order of how I want to listen to them. So this is how I'm producing this album, engineering it. This is what I'm going to do. So the first song I'm going to do is Eliminate, obviously Overkill, get things started right out of the gate. I didn't put any Testament on this because we just talked about the album, but obviously there could be a lot on here. From the Years of Decay, so that's my first one. Number 2, how can you not have Best of 1989 without Obituary? And I went with the title track, Slowly We Rot. My favorite death metal band all time. Probably my second favorite album, but still a wicked album. Number 3, old Jim throws this on there. Young Jim didn't know about it then, but I'm going with Beneath the Remains, the actual title track from Sepultura. I love that song. I love that album. Then I'm going to slow things down a little bit here, and I'm going to go into Sabotage from Gutter Ballet, When the Crowds Are Gone. What a great, great song that is. A bit slower, so I'm slowing things down. Then in 1989, I remember being in Eaton's trying on acid wash jeans, and over the thing, I heard Faith No More, Epic.
Oh, yeah, good song.
From the album, The Real Thing. And I like Faith No More. I mean, I like that album, probably my favorite album by them. Falling to Pieces is really good. The cover of War Pigs, but I'll go with Epic on there. I still remember the first time I heard it. I was trying on jeans with my girlfriend, who is my wife now. Then I'm going to go with Sabbath, but the Tony Martin era, which is one of my favorite. I love these albums. I'm going to go with From Headless Cross, When Death Calls. Love that.
Good song.
Love that
Good song.
Yeah, love that album. And I got the box set with all the stuff there a couple last year, and it's awesome. So then number 7, I'm going to speed things up with a brand new upstart that happened in 1989, and that's Annihilator's Burns Like a Buzzsaw Blade. I mean, from Alice in Hell. That is I think that's probably my favorite Annihilator song, and that thing just goes like crazy. Then I'm going to kind of go into a little bit more of a an occultish, maybe more traditional, with some King Diamond from the Conspiracy album. I'll go with Sleepless Nights just to mix things up a little bit. Then I've been going through a huge older Jimmy. I wanted to go with some Bolt Thrower from Realm of Chaos, World Eater. I mean, I'm in a huge Bolt Thrower mood these days. I bought all their albums and I'm just going crazy. And to end things off, I decided to throw this one on here for Ken, but it's one of both me and my wife love this album. I'm throwing Poison on from Alice Cooper's Thrash. And you know what? That was the first CD I actually bought when I bought a CD player in 1989 or 1990. Okay. The first CD my wife bought me was Thrash. And then I went out that night and I bought, and I'll never admit this to anybody, but I am on, I guess, to everybody. And I bought Warrant, Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinking.
Oh, no.
Those were my first two CDs I owned. I was like a tape guy right to 95 even. I was still buying cassettes. And I would buy, cassettes, and then I'd go buy the CD. But I remember my wife came home. She worked at Zeller's at the time. She brought home when she was we were going out, she brought home, I bought the stereo, and then she came to visit at my house and she brought me Alice Cooper Thrash. And then we went back out to Zeller's where I picked up Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinking Rich Warrant.
Cool.
And then I cried. I listened to Heaven, and I don't know what I did after that.
You drowned your sorrows in something.
Yeah. Then I started drinking. No, just kidding. No, I had been drinking for many years.
Fair enough. That's a good list, though, Jim.
Yeah, not bad, eh?
It's a good list. We match one album, one different song.
Yeah, probably Alice Cooper.
No, that's two. There's two. Oh. We have two matches, but one. Well, we'll get to it. So, how about you, Jason? Did you put a list together, or what did you do?
I just quickly did one.
Okay,
yeah,
go for it.
Cool.
All right. So yeah, I just looked at albums that came out in '89, and immediately I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is probably a solid list of what I was listening to at the time, and probably make a mixtape. So number one would be King Diamond, Sleepless Nights. Nice. I love Conspiracy.
Yeah,
it was a fucking incredible album. I know a lot of people, I don't know, I for some reason I thought the general sentiment about that album was not a positive one, but
it is.
I absolutely love that album.
Cool.
And that track, the video was so cool, and just probably one of my favorite King Diamond songs. Obituary, Slowly We Rot, obviously incredible album. I could pick any song off that album.
Yeah,
just depends on the mood, but such a moody album. Morbid Angel, Immortal Rights, incredible song. I'm sure you guys have heard it. Fucking creepy ass song, and probably one of my favorite death metal songs even to this day. Overkill, Years of Decay. We talked about them earlier, and I forgot this album came out in '89, but one of my favorite songs from them is on this album, and it's Who Tends the Fire. I fucking love that song. I think it's one of their best tracks, and it's got that really cool Sabbathy vibe to it. And oh man, it's such a crushing song, and one of those songs that just takes you from here to here. Love that track. Another album I was absolutely obsessed with in '89 was Manowar, Kings of Metal.
Yes.
Good one.
I could pick any track off that to put on here. I love that album from top to bottom. And then my next track, Pestilence, another death metal one.
Ooh, good one.
The Consuming Impulse, the one with the ants.
Good album.
All over dude's face. Out of Body, my favorite track on that album, and probably my favorite Pestilence song even to this day. And then I got to go with Exodus, Fabulous Disaster, and The Toxic Waltz. As cheesy as that song might seem now, at the time, it was an anthem.
Yeah.
And I saw that anthem live, and that anthem live at the concert hall is probably one of my most memorable experiences, because as soon as they played that track, people on the balcony were just jumping one after the other into the crowd. And I've never seen anything like that before.
No,
the balcony's up there a bit, so that shit doesn't happen anymore.
no.
No.
People lost their mind. So yeah, that would probably be my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So maybe my EP
Okay.
mixtape of
That's
'89.
cool.
Wicked.
That's a
I've
so good list.
I forgot about Morbid Angel on there. Damn it. That's true.
Yeah, I didn't forget Morbid Angel, but I went with songs that I know that I played a lot in like '89. So
Yeah,
mine's pretty diverse, actually. I'll have to say this right off the bat. I mean, like, old me now would, well, obviously at the time, I don't know if I was really into Creator right at the start, but I have Extreme Aggression. It's a great
Yeah.
title track. That's a
oh
great,
fuck, I forgot
great
about
fucking
that
song.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love that song.
My
And then
favorite
Voivod.
Creator album.
What's
yeah,
that?
me too.
My favorite Creator album. I can't
Yeah,
It's
believe
I
my
know you like that album. Yeah, I like the album too. I like that song. And then
yeah.
Voivod,
Yeah,
yeah,
Nothing
no
Face.
one knows that. I
Yeah,
love that
Oh,
song from
dude.
Nothing Face.
that's
That's an
true.
incredible album. I totally love that album. And I
Yeah.
know Jim, Billy, and I we did a podcast on it with another person, but whatever.
The unnamed.
The unnamed.
The
I remember.
Yeah, we did that. We had a lot of fun talking about that album.
yeah.
Great
And
album.
then I would have Exodus. So Fabulous Disaster would be my pick, Jason. I like the title track. I think it's great. Totally love that song.
Yeah, you love that album too.
Oh, I love that album. Yeah, it's one of my
Yeah.
favorite albums. Totally
What
enjoy
do you think of the cover track of that album? I'm not a big
You don't like the Fabulous Disaster?
No, I love that album, but the cover. I've never been a
Oh,
fan
the
of
cover.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
the
did
cover track.
Jimmy and Billy and I, we've discussed this ad nauseum. We don't like the Exodus. They have the
No.
worst
Yeah.
covers ever.
Yeah, they do.
Great band, but they never really took
They
their
never nail it there, do they?
their
No.
visual look. Just like no, it's an awful cover look. The cover is awful. Great album, but I don't like the cover either. And we talked about it. And we don't like it. None of us liked it. And then next I'm going with Jimmy. So Black Sabbath, I went Headless Cross, but I went the title track Headless Cross.
Yeah.
I love
Great
that song. But When Death Calls is a really good song too. That's a really good album. That album is great from first song to last song. You can't go wrong with that album. And then I took Motley Crue. So I love the song Dr. Feelgood. I think that song, and I know why, because I liked it back then when it came out. It was quirky. Yeah,
Oh shit.
Woohoo! But I've always liked the song. It's my wife loves Motley Crue. That's one of her favorite. That's her favorite band. But so I've heard them.
I got that in 1989.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was thinking that you had to have.
Yeah.
You didn't get it last week. There's no way.
no. Unless he was stone drunk. Unless he was drunk out of his mind.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. And then I went with Bad Brains. This is a band that I really loved growing up. Soulcraft from The Quickness. Oh, that's such a great song. And that opening was like, and it goes right into the song. Oh, what a song. Totally love that song. Love that band. They're so unique to me because it's like, I don't know, it's like punk. It's got a bit of everything. I love it. What a great album. And then I have Alice Cooper, so I went with Poison as well. Thrash.
Great
Poison is such a great song. I love the video. The video is great, but that song is so great. I saw this tour when they came to Toronto. It was New Year's Eve.
White opened.
I saw it on New Year's Eve at the Sky Dome. It was so great. Nice. What a show with the Great White was the opening act.
Yeah.
Great White were actually pretty good. They were really good. But that was a great show. I've been watching him chop his head off and going through all the staple moments of his live show. Oh, it was so great. It was so great.
I think Alice Cooper is probably the show that I've them and Helix I've seen the most.
Oh yeah,
I've seen Alice Cooper maybe 5 times. I think I saw it starting at Constrictor and going all the way to. I saw him twice on the Dirty Diamonds tour.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You saw Raise Your Fist too?
No, I saw he canceled on Raise Your Fist, and then I saw him on the Thrash tour.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
I think the last time I saw him was Raise Your Fist, and
they canceled. There was Alice. No, somebody. Maybe it wasn't him. I know it was Platinum Blonde that canceled. Never mind.
Right. Yeah. I think if I remember correctly, the Raise Your Fist on the Altar, was Winger on that
Yeah.
tour?
Well, Kip
Yeah,
Winger
okay.
was playing bass.
Yeah. Okay.
Kane Roberts and Kip Winger.
Yeah, Kane and Kip. Yeah.
What a lineup. That's their best lineup.
Yeah, Kane Roberts was on Constrictor too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they
yeah.
both were. Kip was also on the Constrictor.
That was a wicked tour.
Yeah, it was
Motorhead opened.
Motorhead. Yeah, that's
nice.
great. Motorhead. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't go wrong with that, dude. Good old Motorhead. Wicked. Yeah, and then of course, I had to put Testament on there, so I went with Practice What You Preach because it's a song that I really, really like. And then
The title track.
Yeah, the title track. You gotta have it, man. You gotta have it. And then the last two songs they're interesting to me. They're bands I liked. I still like them. Blue Murder, the band that was John Sykes, Tony Franklin.
Oh man, that is a wicked album.
Yeah, I love that album. Yeah, the title track, Blue Murder, is such a great song.
I'm trying to buy that, because like I want to get what they got two albums, do they, with John Sykes? Yeah.
Blue Murder was awesome.
They need to re-release those. They got to reissue them.
Yeah, I think they're out of print. So if you can find one, good luck. I got it when it came out, so I mean I've had my copy.
I have one. I think I have the other one.
You have the second album, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The first album's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
That album is it's like lightning in a bottle to me. Every song is really good. Sykes is great as a guitar player.
Oh, he's one of my favorite, and I loved him with Whitesnake.
Yeah, he's good with Whitesnake. But this album,
and I think he was he with John Sykes? Was he with Thin Lizzy too?
He was also played on Thin Lizzy. The Thunder and Lightning album, he was on that.
That's right. Yeah.
Great. That's a good album too.
Yeah.
But this is such a great album. I totally love that.
That's a good one. I missed that one.
Every song is good. And then the
89 was a good year, man.
What's that?
No too many releases.
There's a lot of really good. Like there was decent thrash, but there was a lot of just good metal in general for the year.
Yeah.
I thought. And then my final album, the final song that I have is Steve Stevens, The Atomic Playboys, which I absolutely love. I love that album. When he decided to go solo from Billy Idol, he put out this album, and I know I like it because the cover is H.I. Giger. It's covered by Giger, who actually did the cover.
Oh, cool.
So I totally love it. That song, Atomic Playboys, it's such a great song.
I remember that.
Yeah. It's like not a lot of people do, but when it came out, I was totally into it. I bought it, and I was in art school at the time, and I was showing it to people, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you listening to?" And like, "This is great. How could you tell me?"
And I also missed out. I forgot the Sonic Temple by The Cult was out that year. I was a huge Cult fan.
Yeah. There was a lot of good metal in general, good rock, good metal, just a lot of good shit.
Yeah,
it was a really, really good year, depending on what you were into, I guess.
Yeah,
at the time. But yeah, that's we have some pretty good lists overall.
Wicked. Well, that was fun, guys.
Yeah, you betcha. Total fun. So I guess we're pretty much coming to the end of the show. You guys,
2 hours later, boom.
Yeah, I know. I knew it was going to be a 2-hour show, just talking about gushing over this album.
Plus, you haven't done a show in a while, so
no.
I know that's the other thing. Yeah, it's like getting back on the course again.
Yeah.
So, does anyone have any final thoughts before we wrap up?
This was a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah. And Jason, we want to thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I'm honored. Thanks a lot. It was a memorable album for me as a youngster, so it was good to relive that experience again.
Cool. Yeah,
I wish we could all go back in time to 1989 and meet each other,
hang out
those days.
Yeah,
just to say, hey, how's it going?
I remember getting one of my friends and one of us got the cassette.
Yeah,
as I said earlier, of Practice What You Preach. And I just remember making the drive from the city, London, Ontario, to the country where we lived, which was the rural area that we lived, which was an hour. And we put it in and we just fucking blasted it on the tape player. And I have a vivid memory of making that drive. So, albums can do that to you. They can imprint those memories. I don't remember what the fuck happened after that, but I remember that.
You remember that though.
Yeah.
That's the one moment you remember. I know. Yeah. It's always like that. There's always certain things that just stick in your head and you can't get them out of your head.
Yeah.
That's how it is for me. Like 89, watching all those movies and leading up to Testament was just, how could you not? 2 great horror movies in August, and then one of the greatest thrash albums for me at the time. So it's like,
But you
Like
know
the
what?
s-
I think that's what's metal compared to pop music. Metal has that staying power where you remember the first time. Like I remember the first time I heard "Kill 'Em All," and I still remember putting it in and just sitting there going like, "Wow!" And I don't know if I remember the first time I saw the video for Thriller. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you know, I think metal really has that staying power because as metalheads we're so, we remember this stuff. I think that's pretty cool. It's the same thing as horror movies, like you remember that stuff where it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like the two memories I have with the Testament one, and then I remember the first time I saw Poltergeist, and it scared the fucking
Oh yeah,
shit
yeah,
out
it's
of
a
me.
great
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Love that movie.
Not the
Little
remake.
bodies
Not the
came up
remake.
out of the pool.
No, not the, I
Yeah.
know the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. The remake is.
Yeah.
We won't discuss that.
I mean, I like Sam, but he wasn't. Who was the original?
What director?
No, the actor who played was it what's his name in the remake? The father, Sam
Oh, yeah.
something.
It's on the tip of my tongue too.
Yeah, but the original guy was the best. The
Oh yeah,
original
of
father.
course. You can't go wrong. That's such a great movie. Tobe
Yeah.
Hooper. Oh, what a great movie.
Yeah.
Totally love that movie. So I know.
And I remember the first time I saw Nightmare on Elm Street. I was at a buddy's house. His parents rented it for us, and I remember like everybody at school was talking about it, so I knew pretty much. But oh man, when Johnny Depp buys it there in the bed, it was the best thing. I was like, I'm still happy that Johnny Depp bought it, but it was just so cool. It was such a cool movie. I must have watched that weekend. We had it for 2 days, I think. We must have watched it back to back, just all night long.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
That's exactly
Just like listening to practice what you preach.
Exactly.
Over and over again. There you go.
And I don't think the kids today, you could just put it on your phone and watch it on YouTube or whatever. Back then, you had to rewind the tape, rewatch it, and it was like a
work.
treat. When you rented a movie, it was like a treat. You know, you're like, oh, I got it for 2 days. Oh yeah, we're gonna make use of this. You know, and it was beautiful outside, but you didn't care. You were inside watching this.
Absolutely.
That's
Kids today have they're spoiled.
Good times, dude.
Yeah.
You don't have the patience.
Oh yeah. Good times.
Cool.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. So we'll be back next week with another album, and Jason will be back to joining us, and it'll be his pick. So we'll come up with something, and then we'll announce it during the week at some point. But this is a blast. Thanks again, Jason, for coming on and joining Jim and I. We really appreciate it. We got to get this
absolutely
no problem
fast engine going again, getting it going, and getting us back to weekly podcast. But
awesome. Thanks, guys. We'll do this again.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. We'll definitely do this again.
I'll have a
Good night,
doozy
guys.
for you next week.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
I know we will. I know we will.